Welcome back, everybody, to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise here on Madden 21. I apologize that it's been a little bit over a week since the last episode, but my excuse is that prospect profiles take a while to make, and I have not been able to upload this video until today. But since this is the last prospect profile for Season 4, we will be able to move a little bit quicker as we approach the postseason. So before we talk about our Week 17 matchup against the Chargers, we will be doing a quick prospect profile on linebackers and defensive backs, the final prospect profile for the season, as we get our last look at some of the players in the draft. Let's start with linebackers, and our linebacking core has not been good this year. I definitely want to revamp the linebacking room. Leighton Vander Esch has had trouble finding the field. David Harris has not taken that step up from his rookie year to this year. Myles Jack has been a massive disappointment, and he is due for a contract extension this offseason. And Rashawn Babineau, who gets most of his snaps at linebacker, has also been fairly disappointing this year. So we do need some help on the linebacking core. Unfortunately, this is not an overly deep linebacker class. There are some players at the top who I do like, and I could see the Jaguars using an early selection this year with a linebacker, but if not, they may have to look elsewhere other than the draft. The first linebacker we'll be talking about today is Denver Hurd out of the University of Nevada. I think Hurd with the Jaguars would be a really good fit. What Jacksonville needs out of their linebackers is coverage. The Jaguars have really struggled against tight ends this season. It's been no secret that tight ends usually torch the Jags. And I think with Denver Hurd's size and coverage ability, he would be a great fit. He's a very good athlete. He's a very smart player. He's not great in the run game or as a pass rusher. He is fairly one-dimensional, but in coverage, he's really good. The only problem is he is projected to go in the middle of the second round. That's around where his talent is. So this means he'd be too early to pick in the first round, but he probably won't be on the board for Jacksonville's second round pick, which makes things a little bit awkward. Someone who does fit the range of the late first round is Tanielu Pule-Fasasina out of Washington. Pule-Fasasina is more of a pass rusher, which isn't really what Jacksonville needs at linebacker, but he does have the ability to make plays in the run game as well, and for what it's worth, he does have very good durability. He's not missed a game in his 4-year career with Washington. He's not great in coverage, though. So if Jacksonville wants specifically a coverage linebacker, which I think is what they're mainly going to be looking for this offseason, then Pule-Fasasina may not be the greatest fit, but talent-wise, I think he stacks up right around the late first round. If the Jaguars want to look at inside linebacker, a good option is Stephon Hampton out of Illinois. Hampton makes most of his money in the run game. He's a great run defender. He covered well in this game against Cincinnati. He had to take on tight end Keontae Cunningham, who's probably going to be the first tight end off the board this year, which is definitely a tall task. But in general, he's not great in coverage. As I said, he's a good run defender, he's a great tackler, very hard hitter, and he's a pretty good pass rusher as well. He also has trouble staying on the field, so that added with his lack of coverage ability, again, he fits the mold of being a late first round guy, which is right around Jacksonville's range, but he might not just be the fit of what the Jaguars would want. Somebody who does fit what Jacksonville wants at linebacker is Nicky Hagabawa out of UCLA. Hagabawa is a 6'6" guy, standing at 6'2", almost around 250 pounds. He's great in coverage. He's a very explosive athlete, and I think he'd be a perfect fit on the Jaguar defense. Although he's a little bit raw in his other areas of his game, he is a good tackler. He is a boomer bust prospect, though, and he's not great in the run game. He's probably going to go in the top 10 or top 15, and his talent just does not stack up there. I believe he is a late second talent. I would still use a first-round pick on him, and if he does fall to Jacksonville's pick in the first round, I would not be surprised if that's the pick at all, but I just don't think it's likely that he'll fall past 15-ish. Unlike the linebacking core, I don't think we'll really be touching the secondary in the offseason. The only question with our cornerback room going forward is, will we pay both CJ Henderson and Zaire Wiggins long-term? And I don't think we can do that. Based on how Wiggins has played this year, he absolutely cannot go anywhere for the foreseeable future. So maybe we will be unable to pay CJ Henderson. But if that's the case, Bob Adams can also play outside corner. Our top picks the past 2 years have been used on safeties with Josh Jordan Jr. this year and Julius Williams the prior year. So we really don't need defensive back at all. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time looking at the secondary, but I do want to look at some of the elite defensive back prospects just so you guys have an understanding of who could possibly go in the very high range of this draft. This is a really good defensive back class. Last year there were 8 corners projected to go in the first round. This year there are 7, and there are a lot of good safeties. So 2 years in a row, 2 very good defensive back classes, but it's a shame we're probably not going to use a high pick on a DB. The first defensive back we're going to be looking at is Trindon Bailey-Raines out of LSU. Look at that pick 6 against Nevada earlier this season. He's a very explosive player. He makes a lot of great plays on the ball, has a number of interceptions in his LSU career, and because of that, I do expect him to be the top corner off the board in this year's draft, and possibly a top 5 selection. He has great athleticism, speed, quickness, and change of direction. Not only does he have great ball skills, but he's a playmaker with the ball in his hands. He was LSU's main kick and punt returner this season. He has a lot of splash plays, but he needs to be more consistent, and he has missed a lot of time with medical question marks. But if he stays healthy, he's going to be a really fun player at the next level. I don't think I'd use a top 10 pick on him, but he is really good. The second projected corner in this draft class is Joe Lilly out of Westlake. Lilly recorded 10 interceptions this past season, which is not only a school record, but the most in the NCAA. This guy's a ball hawk. He rarely drops interceptions. Now, I know he had that one slip right through his hands, but he very rarely drops passes. He reminds me so much of Zaire Wiggins coming out of Auburn a few years ago, and we know that Wiggins has developed into a very good player at the next level with the Jaguars. Joe Lilly knows how to track the football. He knows how to catch the football. He knows how to make plays with the ball. He's very good in coverage as well. Quarterbacks rarely threw it to his side of the field, and when they did, it usually ended up in a turnover. Lilly is also very versatile. He also played running back, wide receiver, and was the kicker and punter during his high school career at IMG Academy. He needs to be better as a tackler, and he does have a few inconsistent plays. He struggled in the national championship this past season against Michigan, but he is such a stud and absolutely deserving of a top selection. His Westlake teammate in that secondary is strong safety Shenard Abudga. I think Budga would be a great fit for the Jaguars if they didn't really need him. Now, Rashawn Babineau will be entering the last year of his contract next year, and I think Budga's a similar player, so maybe he could replace Rashawn Babineau. Budga's a very explosive and fun player. He had a lot of splash plays in college, knows how to track the football. He's very versatile. I think he could play deep in coverage or as a box linebacker. He does need to be a little bit more consistent, which makes sense considering he's only 21 years old. He only finished up his redshirt sophomore season, and he only started for 1 year, so the inexperience might be there, but I think he'll be a really good player, even though he's only supposed to go in like the 3rd round. The final guy we're going to be looking at today is Musa Ndumbe out of Cincinnati. Ndumbe is the 3rd projected corner off the board this year, only behind Trindon Bailey-Raines and Joe Lilly. And Ndumbe has good versatility. He can play in the nickel and as an outside corner. He's very good in zone coverage, and for a 21-year-old kid, I've got to say, he is quite smart. Ndumbe is not a great ball hawk, which is why he is not in the same conversation as the top 2 corners in this class. He's only 5'9", and he's not great in man coverage, so I do think he has some work to do, but I think he could be a pretty solid player. There are some other defensive backs I want to highlight. I would have talked about them more in depth had we actually needed corner. I really like Kai Arsenio out of Georgia Southern. I know he's a 2nd-round talent, but I think he's quite talented. Mohamed Aluko, DeAndre Webster, and Pascual Avalos are the other projected first-round quarterbacks. And then at strong safety, a number of players I like. In the first round, Von St. Michaels and Aaron Armstrong are both very talented. And as you go down the board, there are talented depth players such as Sean Love and Thor Carlson, who I do think could make a lot of sense for a team like the Jags, particularly Carlson, who I think, similarly to Shenard Abudga, could be used as a hybrid linebacker. So that'll end the prospect profile. Now let's talk about our Jaguars. We are in Week 17 with a record of 10-5. We are projected to still finish as the 1 seed. We've lost 2 straight games, but if we win today against the Chargers, we will clinch the top seed in the conference. Here's a look at the standings for both the NFC and AFC. Only 4 out of the 12 teams have clinched playoff spots, obviously including us. We have a pop-up message from our offensive coordinator talking about the possibility of resting DJ Chark. Chark has missed a lot of time throughout the second half of the season with injury. He did return last week against the Falcons and played quite well. And I don't really want to rest him for the full game today because I want to make sure he's not rusty. He looked outstanding last week, but I do want him playing for at least part of this game. There is a different player I plan on resting, and that is quarterback Koko Nwosu. Koko has not been great the past few weeks, but don't get it twisted. I'm not benching Koko. We're just giving him the day off. And the main reason why we're giving him the day off is not so much because of him, but more so because I want to see what MARSUCIO Alteron can bring to the table. Alteron was our third-round selection this past season. He has not really gotten to play at all. He got a few snaps in Week 3, and I only put him in because we were blowing out the Texans that game. I really want to see what MARSUCIO can do, so we're going to give him the start today and see what he's made of. Unfortunately, we had a new injury last week. Orlando Brown dislocated his elbow, which is very bad news. But on the bright side, J.K. Dobbins is back healthy. So let's take a look at the Chargers here. They're led by quarterback Justin Herbert. I think the interesting storyline with their offense today is the backfield with Austin Eckler out. The main starting running back will be Vladimir Poco, the second-year pro out of Oklahoma State. Also have to watch out for former Westlake Hornet Octavius October, who's developed into a very good player. He has 10 sacks this season, 8 last year. He's one of the best Westlake Hornets in the NFL so far. You can't forget about Anthony Mitchell either, who's also had a pretty good career with the Chargers as well. Other than October and Mitchell, for the most part, this Chargers team is fairly similar to what they have in real life. So let's get this one underway. Week 17 action. Sunday Night Football. If the Jags win, they will clinch the top seed in the AFC and get a first-round bye. If they lose, they will likely have to play somebody during Wild Card Weekend. That team to be determined. The first NFL start for MARSUCIO Alteron, who never started a game in college, and now is going to get an opportunity to start one in the pros. Chargers, starting with the football, the Jaguar defense the past few weeks has been pitiful. Maybe they can pick it up today, as on 2nd and 7, it's Mike Williams wide open up the middle of the field, gets it to the 46-yard line for a nice gain. 2nd and 3 now at the 39-yard line as it's Herbert, the fourth-year pro out of Oregon, looking to throw it, going up the middle. It's caught by Temekio Lockhart, the backup tight end. He gets it to the 26-yard line. Not only is Hunter Henry a dangerous tight end on this team, but Temekio Lockhart is pretty good as well. 3rd and 6 now. Justin Herbert has time. He's going to go short, and it is caught inside the 5, but there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be a holding on the Chargers. This one is coming back. A costly penalty against Kalichi Osemele. Instead of it being 1st and goal at the 3, it is now 3rd and long. 3rd and 16 to be exact from the 32-yard line. Justin Herbert looking to throw it. Going to take a shot deep for the end zone, and it's picked off. Zaire Wiggins does it again. Wiggins with his 12th interception of the season. You may notice his interception totals have gone down as the year has played out. That's because quarterbacks are throwing the ball his way less. So here comes the Jaguar offense. The first NFL start for MARSUCIO Alteron. He got a little bit of playing time in Week 3. Looked fairly solid there. We'll see what he does today as he gets a nice play for David Njoku to the 39-yard line. Njoku is unfortunately injured on the play, but luckily it would not be a serious injury, and he would return to the game fairly shortly afterwards. 3rd and 7, MARSUCIO scrambling with it, going to show off the wheels. Runs past his former college teammate Anthony Mitchell and gains 30. MARSUCIO Alteron does not have a lot of mobility inside the pocket. He really struggles under pressure, but if we're just talking about straight line speed, he can run. 2nd and 1, there's Daniel Romer, the backup tight end, into the end zone for a Jacksonville touchdown. Show off those dance moves, young man. Romer with his first touchdown of the year, and Jacksonville will start this one on the board. They lead 7-0. Chargers have it now. 1st down. It's a wheel route for Joshua Kelly. Gets by Babineau and is pushed out of bounds by the rookie Josh Jordan Jr., helped up by one of the Chargers. I believe that was Drew Tranquill. 2nd and 4 now from the 48, just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Short pass for a wide-open Hunter Henry, who gets popped by the rookie Bob Adams, but not before bringing it to the 37-yard line. Nice grab for Henry, the veteran out of Arkansas. Very next play, Herbert looking to throw it. has time. The Jaguar pass rush not looking particularly good today, as again it is Hunter Henry who gets 20, pushed out of bounds by Adams and Jordan, the two rookie defensive backs. Now at the 17, 2nd and 10, the Chargers are moving down the field. Maybe this is the drive they'll be able to score. It's a play-action fake for Poco. Herbert, short pass for Keenan Allen. Hit hard by Williams, but not before bringing it to the 3. The Chargers are getting very close to the end zone. And you want a guy like Vladimir Poco, who's a very powerful back. His biceps are probably about as thick as a tree. He does lose yards there. Leighton Vander Esch brings him down. Temekio Lockhart is hurt on the play for the Chargers, as it is now 3rd and goal from the 5. Can LA punch it in? Herbert looking to throw it, and it's deflected. Kayvon Chason kind of tackled a defenseless receiver. You could call that PI, but no call needed. Chargers will tack on the easy field goal, and LA is on the board, as it is now 7-3. That'll conclude the first quarter. Jags look good up to this point. The defense hasn't been terrible. They've only allowed 3 points, but the Chargers have had 2 pretty solid drives so far, so it's not like the defense has been outstanding either. There's a nice play by David Njoku to the 39-yard line. Good to have him back in the game after he got hurt earlier. MARSUCIO Alteron is looking quite good so far. He's been very accurate up to this point. Is on 2nd and 10. Alteron again going to scramble with it. Hope he can find someone. He connects with Njoku, who brings it to the 2. It seems like MARSUCIO and Njoku have a pretty nice connection so far, as David Njoku gets 26 yards. And the Jags now have it at the 2. 1st and goal. Handoff for J.K. all day. Touchdown, J.K. Dobbins. Jacksonville extends their lead. The Jaguars were 8-2 with Dobbins healthy, 2-3 without him. I don't know if there's massive correlation. It's not like Dobbins is the lead runner, but it is worth noting the team is better when he is healthy. Nice run for Vladimir Poco, bringing it to midfield. Offensive tackle Bobby Evans Jr. is hurt on the play for the Chargers, so that's not good news for them. Now at the 37, 2nd down and 8. It's a short throw for Hunter Henry. Gets by Jack and is eventually pushed down by Josh Jordan Jr. at the 16-yard line. Jordan has been all over the field today. He has been quite good here in his final regular season game of his rookie year. 3rd and 4 now at the 10. Herbert, a dot in the end zone. What a grab by Mike Williams for the touchdown. And the Chargers will bring the score back down to 1 possession. The play was reviewed, but it ended up standing, and it is now 14-10. Jags back on offense. 3rd and 6. J.K. Dobbins only gets 5. The Chargers get the stop. They call timeout, but on 4th and 1, Jacksonville's going to go for it on their own side of the field. Very gutsy, and they will convert. MARSUCIO goes for the QB sneak. Jacksonville gets the 1st down, and then they immediately call timeout right afterwards to reassess. Now from the 42, Alteron up the middle for Casey Shock, who gets it to the 23-yard line. Quite the season for Casey Shock. He has been outstanding. So far he's been quiet today, though, but he's had a great sophomore season. From the 23, MARSUCIO now gets it to Chark, who jukes his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play by DJ Chark, who scored twice in his return a week ago. And Jacksonville, all 3 of their drives today have resulted in touchdowns. It seems like the offense is really gelling with MARSUCIO Alteron at quarterback. 3rd and 4 for LA. Herbert looking to throw it, taking a shot downfield for Williams, and it is broken up. Nice coverage by C.J. Henderson. And Jacksonville has it back with 28 seconds and 1 timeout. Is that enough to get back on the scoreboard? On 3rd down, look at Dobbins with a great run of a 44 wrapped up by Derwin James. Jacksonville calls their 3rd and final timeout. So they're going to need either a quick out route or a quick play up the middle and then spike it. MARSUCIO gets it to DJ Chark. Chark just running right out of bounds to the 28-yard line with only 14 seconds. The following play, Jacksonville would take a shot to the end zone. They weren't successful. So now with 7 seconds, they're going to send the field goal unit out. It's a 45-yard attempt for Volker Gantz, and it goes right down Main Street. So Jacksonville puts up 24 points. A very strong showing offensively here in the first half for the Jaguar offense. They nearly have 300 total yards already. And so far, MARSUCIO Alteron looks like the real deal. 15 of 23, 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's been very impressive. Coco's job is not on the line for the playoffs, but if MARSUCIO keeps playing like this, then we're going to keep our eyes open, I suppose, for the future. 3rd and 8, Alteron going to run with it, and he will somehow lunge for the first down. What a run by MARSUCIO Alteron, who has continued to look excellent today. Now from the 50, 3rd and 10, MARSUCIO with a dot for DJ Chark. A very risky pass, but it does work, and Jacksonville gets the first down. Now at the 37, 2nd and 10, short throw up the middle for Chark, wrapped up quickly by Kenneth Murray along with Desmond King at the 24. Now at the 14, 2nd and 10. Again, the Jaguar offense having no trouble moving it down the field as DJ Chark gets about 8 or 9, but there's a flag. Face mask on LA. That'll be an automatic first down and push the Jags to the 2-yard line. Kaiser White is called with the flag. So now it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Jacksonville going to go for the QB sneak again. Touchdown, MARSUCIO Alteron. This young man is on fire, ladies and gentlemen, and Jacksonville now leads by 3 scores as it is 31-10. Chargers have it back now with 4 and change left to go in the 3rd quarter as it's 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert under pressure, and he will be sacked on the play by Josh Allen. There is a flag. It's an illegal contact on Myles Jack. So they can make it 1st and 10 on their 30, but they declined it. So instead of first down on the 30, it's 3rd and 20 at the 15. Are the Chargers trying to throw the game? There's literally no reason for them to accept the penalty unless they are trying to lose. Kelly only gains 2, wrapped up by Rashawn Babineau. I think Anthony Lynn is trying to tank, right? That's literally the only reason why they would decline that penalty. Oh well, Jacksonville has it back as the pass attempted for Romer is actually caught by Casey Shock. Shock was at the right place at the right time and is able to get the first down for Jacksonville. Now from the 26, play action fake for Ewell. He's been quiet today as Casey Shock gets it to around the 10-yard line, and Jacksonville's going to tack on some more yardage. An unnecessary roughness penalty on the former Westlake Hornet, Anthony Mitchell. Mitchell's actually been pretty good with the Chargers. He has 3 interceptions this year, has 2 as a rookie, and he's a very productive player. 2nd and goal, David Njoku with the touchdown. 3 passing and 1 rushing today for MARSUCIO Alteron. Now that the Jags are up by 28 points, they're going to put all of the backups in for the most part. MARSUCIO will remain in the game at quarterback, but for the most part, a lot of the young guys are going to get an opportunity to shine. 3rd and 3, Herbert under pressure, he is sacked. Garrison Matthews and Marcel Stokely with half a sack each. Stokely's a player I'm especially excited to watch here in the 4th quarter. I think he has a chance to be a starter next year. 38-10. What a showing today by the Jags. 4th and 13. LA doesn't really have a choice. They pretty much have to go for it. Justin Herbert hit as he throws. His pass is tipped and intercepted by Julius Williams. Williams is a starter. I don't really know why he was on the field, but oh well. Williams with his 3rd interception of the season. His 1st interception since week 1. He picked off Lamar Jackson twice in the first game of the season and has not gotten another interception until right there. The Jags have been chewing some clock now on the goal line as on 3rd down, MARSUCIO is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Joey Bosa, who has 3 tackles for loss today. So Jacksonville is only going to be able to kick the field goal. It feels weird having Koko and Wosu hold kicks. I don't know, that just doesn't seem right. Volker Gantz does make it, and it is now 41-10 with 4:20. Blaze it, left to go in the game. First down, Herbert looking to throw it. His pass is intercepted again. Bob Adams with his 1st interception in his NFL career, and he gets it all the way to the 25, wrapped up by Herbert, Joshua Kelly, and one of the offensive linemen. Bob Adams had 4 interceptions last year as a redshirt sophomore in college, has been unable to get one as a pro until right then. So now it's 4th and inches with 2:20 left to go. Jacksonville's going to go for it. Kyra Brooks will get the first down. You'd think that would end the game, but the Chargers started using timeouts because they had a bunch of injuries. So Jacksonville couldn't really chew clock because the Chargers kept getting hurt. Seems like a very Charger-type thing to do. Volker Gantz makes the kick. Orlando Brown re-injures himself. I don't know why he was in the game, but whatever. 44-10, that's your final. A blowout. Dominant victory for the top-seeded Jaguars. They officially clinched the #1 seed in the AFC thanks to a gutsy performance by the rookie MARSUCIO Alteron, who was incredible today. 27-39, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 69% completion percentage. Nice. Justin Herbert was fine. He did throw 3 interceptions, 2 of which came in garbage time, so I won't really blame him. Herbert wasn't bad today, but he wasn't as good as our main man, MARSUCIO. Nobody ran the ball all that well. RJ Ewell was quiet. J.K. Dobbins was pretty good. He had 52 yards and a touchdown. MARSUCIO ran it well, 38 yards and a score. DJ Chark found the end zone. Mike Williams, David Njoku, they both scored. So did Daniel Romer. MARSUCIO did not get sacked once, which is remarkable because he was a sack magnet in college. Interceptions for Williams, Adams, and Wiggins. I think our defense might have led the NFL in interceptions this year, which is especially crazy because our linebackers did not get a single interception all year. Pretty remarkable. So DJ Chark's morale will boost because he got to play a lot, but unfortunately we have some new injuries. Orlando Brown somehow fractured his elbow. I think he was on the field during, kicks. I don't know why they had him in. We can have tight ends who can block. Oh, well, that's weird. We're going to have to put Orlando Brown on IR now. He is done for the season. Taga Tuluiaipupu dislocated his elbow. We're going to put him on IR as well. Try to get an extra roster spot. I guess I'm going to have to sign offensive linemen so we can have enough guys on the field for our special teams plays. We do have Mike Rhodes back. That's nice. MARSUCIO Alteron wins AFC Offensive Player of the Week, but he wasn't even the most spectacular rookie quarterback. Look at Jaden Gorman-Young for the Lions. He threw 5 touchdowns, albeit the Lions played the Broncos, who are like the worst team in the league. But still, he was really impressive. So here are the final seedings. We do get the 1 seed. The Bills, Chiefs, and Bengals win their divisions in our conference. The Titans, Raiders, and Colts get wild cards. In the NFC, the Packers clinched the 1 seed 3 weeks ago. The Giants, Seahawks, and Saints won their divisions. The Bears, Lions, and Cowboys are wild card teams. Jacksonville will be playing the lowest AFC team who wins a playoff game, and that team is the Indianapolis Colts, who snuck in as the 7 seed and upset the Buffalo Bills in the first round of the playoffs. By the way, Julius Williams has a breakout challenge in the playoffs. That's kind of cool. So let's take a look at all the playoff results. So the Colts barely squeaked by the Bills in overtime. The Chiefs beat the Raiders. The Bengals squeaked by the Titans. So Kansas City will be playing Cincinnati. In the NFC, the Seahawks beat Detroit. The Cowboys smothered the defending champion Giants. And the Chicago Bears barely beat the Saints in overtime, I believe. So the Packers will be playing the Cowboys, and the Seahawks will be playing the Bears in the divisional round for the NFC. So that will conclude today's episode. Next time, we have a date with Rodney Allen and the Indianapolis Colts in the divisional round of the playoffs. We beat Indy twice this season, but we've not played them since week 5. So I think this Colts team probably is going to look a lot different and a lot better, and I think it's going to be a fun game. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next episode, divisional round versus the Colts. Hope you guys are ready because it's going to be a fun one.